Hello. Is it on? Are we on? Are we here? Are we good? It's Friday. It's 2 o'clock in the Eastern Time Zone. And here I am. It's Friday, December 11th. Wow. Can't believe this year has galloped away so quickly. So today is Numerology Day, which makes me very happy. Irsa, hello. How are you? You were waiting. Well, thank you. That's so kind. So kind. All right. So I'm doing numerology for 2021. What is your day and month of birth, Irsa? I think you've probably told me before, but I don't remember. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes it looks better than other times. That's your day and month of birth. I'm sure I've asked you before. It seems to me that you're very young. Okay. Yes, indeed. Black dress, red hairband. Okay, here we go. The 17th of May. Okay, so in 2021. You're the same as me. Did we know that before, Irsa? You and I we're in the same personal year, so we're going into a 9. Hello, Kathleen. How good to see you. You're going into a 7, me, I know. Um, Irsa, we're going into a 9 year, which is a time when we get some stuff completed, some stuff because it's finished and it's good and it's over, right? So if you're writing a book, then a 9 is when you're going to send it to the publisher and it's over and you're going to have more time for other things. It can also be a time when you finish things, when if you've been living with circumstances that don't serve you very well, if you've got a job that you hate, a 9 year is a really good time to say, that's it, no more. I'm going to make a change and finish with that and move towards something that you love and that feeds your soul, right? So it's the two sides of endings. Some of them that you make because they serve you better, and some of them that you make because you've completed a cycle with something, right? And sometimes we have some losses. Sometimes people move away, people go away, people pass away. They their time with us is coming to its completion too, and its conclusion. So there's lots of new beginnings in 2022. You have no focus, Irsa? I would never have guessed from our conversations. We will, you and I will talk for sure. Okay, Kathleen is going into a 7. 7 is the teacher. 7 is I talk about this a lot. I know that teaching and learning are the two sides of the same coin. That as you teach other people about something, you learn about yourself in the process. You learn about how you feel about that thing. Regina, I see you. Welcome. Um, I A lot of people, you all the time, and particularly in the work that you're doing right now, as you do it, you're setting an example. And even if you're learning new stuff, and goodness knows right now policy is changing and there's a need for you to be up to date all the time and keep learning what's required of you today because it's different from yesterday. um, but the example that you set then teaches other people how they can be in their roles and in their support of you and in their moving away from you and whatever else. Hey Tanya, this is good. Laurie, I see you. Regina came in first, and we're at 12:10. We're at happy birthday, are we? Or was it a while ago? If it's December the 10th, many happy returns of yesterday. Um, so you're going into a 3, 4. Good Lord, you're going into a 9 as well. 9 and 7 are the two spiritual numbers. So far I've got 3 people going into a 9 and one going into a 7. This is a really, really interesting group that is in a time of spiritual expansion. I love it. Tanya, I need your date of birth. Um, so so interesting. Who am I looking at here? This is Regina. Okay, so if you were here, you heard me talking about coming to the end of timed events and such like. Okay, who came in next? Oh, I did know that, Tanya. Of course I did. We talked on your birthday. All right, Lori. Lori is the first of the 6th. So this is 5, 6, and 6. You're going into a 3-year. That's really nice too. Because they're all really nice, as long as you're ready for them, right? Once you have an awareness of what the energy is, you can work with it and make the most and really maximize your experience. So in a 3-year, there is lots of connection to inspiration. It's one of the emotional numbers, so it's maybe not as intense as a spiritual number in terms of connection with spirit, but when you cultivate your connection as you move into your inspiration, then you become available for the wisdom to come through for things that exist in other dimensions to be channeled through you into the physical world. So whether that is new systems to put in place at the office, or it's new ways to cook parsnips in your home, or it's algorithms for you to make the most of your computer time, whatever it is that does not yet exist, during a 3-year, you're going to be able to tap into that wisdom that happens somewhere outside of you. It's not about working out a detailed plan on a piece of paper and figuring out, where the triangle fits inside the circle. This is about you wake up in the morning and go, oh my goodness, of course. It's that kind of year. So it's going to be, if you're open to it, if you're willing to do it, get a dream journal, put it by the bed so that when you wake up, you can jot down any notes that you need to. And it'd be an awesome year. For sure, for sure. Okay, who was that? That was 1-6. That was Lori Haskins. Okay. All right, so next one came in Tanya. Tanya is 12. The first of the 12. We probably talked about this, didn't we? So that's your. I don't believe it. You're going into a 9-year as well. Conclusions, completions. Um, Clearing the way for what's coming up in 2022. So you've got a whole year that, and this applies to all of us, and I'm going into a 9 as well. Oh, Regina, I'm sorry, did I miss you? Regina, 1210. Yes, I did. You're in a 9. So you can listen to this as well, because whoever I'm talking to now, Tanya, is also, hi Mackenzie, also in a 9. It seems to be a thing. People who come to my lives, they're all going into a 9-year in 2021. Mackenzie, if you haven't yet, please put your day and month of birth. Wow, lots of people coming in. I'm going to have to talk a whole lot faster. So who's this? This is Tanya and also Regina, both going into 9-year. 9 years. It's 9 is the highest of the single digits. So when we're adding together, we're always adding till there's only one digit left. So we get to 10, we add the 1 and the 0, we're back at 1 again. But it's not It's not a circle that just turns around and around from 1 to 9, like a wagon wheel, and like we see the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot deck, right? It's with the numbers, it's much more like a spiral staircase. So that each time we come back to a 9, for instance, 9 years ago you were finishing things, you were um, getting to a place of expanding your consciousness a little bit, because it was a 5 year universally 9 years ago. Um, so being tied, the 5 and the 9 being tied together through your life, like mine is, as you come to the end of one cycle, you 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 increase the angle of view. It's like a zoom lens, right? When we're little, we can only see here, and we want our needs met. As we get older and older, we get to see more. And by the time we get to a 9, as the world is expanding, we expand our understanding of it and the way that we deal with it. So as if we're on the spiral staircase, every time we get back to 9 again, we're at a different altitude and we're seeing the world differently. We've got 9 more years experience, 9 more years of relationships. There's real progress that comes with that. Okay, that was Tanya. Who have I missed now? Just a minute. Tanya, procrastinating. You are naughty. Okay, Mackenzie came in, didn't give me a date yet. Laureen, hello. I'm not doing cards today, Laureen. I'm doing numbers for the next year. Rochelle, you're the next date I see. So the 14th of the 10th. So we have a 5 and a 1 is 6 and 5. You're going into a 2. And that completely makes sense, Rochelle. 2 is the number of relationships, all relationships. So you and your life partner, and you and your parents, and you and your siblings, and you and your work colleagues, and all of the relationships can be covered by the 2. I know, Rochelle, that you are adjusting to a life where some of those relationships are now missing, and so you're looking at a year of just adjusting to life without the people who have made their transition, without that same tie to the geography that you used to, that was just part of your life, was being there with them, right? So you have a year of more time for other relationships, time that you need to take with yourself as you go through your grief and readjustment, and also time to spend with that primary relationship, that woman in the mirror, right? Gorgeous face that's there, because now it's different. Now you're the woman without that relationship, and you're slightly different than you used to be. So learning to relate to yourself in that way is going to be one of your primary works through 2021. All right, Francis, November 20th is a 2 and a 2. Oh, I love, you're going into a 9. Don't believe it. This is amazing. I knew I was going to get lots of repeats because there are only 9 digits. I didn't expect almost everyone to be going into a 9. So again, completions and conclusions and and all of those things. All right. Yeah, Lorene, I'm sorry. We are doing something different, and that's all right. Okay, 29th of January, Mackenzie Hill. It's so nice to see you here. You're going into an 8. I've had an 8 year this year. 8 years are gorgeous. 8 year is I talk about the 8 as the symbol for infinity, right? When we lie it down, it's a lemniscate in mathematics, and it's very representative of the flow of spiritual energy into the physical world. So things that go from the unseen into the seen and back again, which, on the macro level is our whole life. We come from somewhere, we arrive, we live here, and then we go back. But on the micro level, it's every breath. We have an in-breath and an out-breath, and the one can't exist without the other. So it's a lot about finding balance and symmetry in our lives and in our everydays, and even in the small stuff. So during an 8 year, I've had such an 8 year I've had, right? We closed the world so that I could get into the flow of Facebook Lives. Um, Learning to flow my energy very differently is what has happened this year, and maybe next year you're going to get some of that. Certainly, there's going to be a need to reevaluate how you're approaching things, because as you're coming to the end of the cycle, the following year it'll be a 9, so it's coming up time to make some get some of your projects finished, and giving yourself time to figure out exactly how you're going to balance your time to do it so they can be completed in your 9 year, how you're going to treat the people around you with fairness and kindness, and doing that, because the two sides of the 8 sort of weigh each other off. I don't know if you've got Libra energy, and I don't know a lot about astrology, but it's that balance. It's that finding the place between too much and too little, right? So eight is a lovely year to be having next year. The world is in a 5, so there's going to be a lot of expansion and adapting and adjusting. And as circumstances around you change, because the world is changing, you get to be the one who chooses the balance that fits your life, right? Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, Laureen, I hope the weather is good in the far west there. We're talking the 27th. Oh, you're a Christmas baby. 27th of the 12th is a 9 and a 3. Next year is a 5. You're going into an 8 year. I should have calculated that out. Were you listening what I just told Mackenzie? Because that's yours too. It's when you draw an 8, when you have a piece of clean paper, when you draw an 8, can you see that? You can divide it like this and you get mirror images above and below the line, or you can divide it like that and get mirror images on each side of the line. That's not a very good 8 for that, but so it speaks to symmetry. It speaks to finding the way that well, as I said, that things will balance, so that your and that can be as mundane as budgeting and making sure that there's not more going out than there is coming in, and it can be as esoteric as the way that you are meditating, the way that you are manifesting emotion and intellect in your own life, and balancing that against what you need to do in the physical world. It like the whole gamut, but it's always about the balance, right? Okay, Francis. Francis, I did you, yes? You're at work? Sneaky, sneaky. Okay, Krista, let me know. 9 is wonderful, absolutely. It's you've probably heard me talk about that. That was a long time ago now. Krista, let me know your date of birth. All right. So everybody got here all together. It's only 19 past. This is it. I'm absolutely fascinated at how many people are going into a 9 year who are the people who come here. That's quite amazing. So we've had, well, I guess we've had a few different things. Kathleen was a 7. We've had a couple of 8s and a 3. We have a 3 and we had a 2. Okay. Lots and lots of 9. 9 contains all the energy. There's so much potential in a 9. And the fact that your calendars, like mine, tied to there are numbers that are linked together. You're a Libra too, so or not two, but if you're working with balance, the personal year, I don't need your year of birth, Krista. If you just want to give me your day and month, that's absolutely fine, and I can work out your vibration for next year. Um, Time of birth doesn't apply to this calculation. No, not no. I'm just doing a very simple thing for this next year. Okay. Who asked me? Somebody asked me something. Lorene asked for a recap. That was about the 8. 9. I'm trying to think how else to describe the 9. The 9 is a really holistic energy. So, I was talking about being tied to the 5 on the calendar. Okay. So we have the 10th of July. That's my sister's birthday. And this next year is 5, 6, 13. You're going into a 4. You are unique in this group today, Krista. You're the first person I've had who's going into a 4. Okay, so that's a lovely combination as well. For the 5 calendar year, 2021 is a 5-year universally, and you're bringing 4 energy to it. So, as those are both physical numbers, which means they're very compatible, and you're not hugely out of step with the way things are. As the world is, or the energy and society and everything else are beginning to change and adapt to the new conditions that we're living with now, after the foundation we set down in 2020. There's going to be, because it's a 5, there's going to be an expansion. There's going to be growth and new circumstances and places going where no one has gone before, right? You bring to that in your personal world, you're bringing a 4, which is a really stable, it's that foundational energy that we've had this year in the world, that the new beginnings, the putting down a base on which to go. Oh, okay, doesn't matter. um, Putting down. So as the world changes, you are the person who's going to go, oh, I can take this undefined thing that has never existed before, and I can make it into something sensible and solid and practical that is going to serve me and my children. And I don't know what that looks like, but some kind of big new purple zucchini flower that you are able to say, that never existed before, but I can tell it will batter and deep fry really well, as indeed zucchini flowers do. But you're the one who will take the new stuff and turn it into something useful. Does that make sense? That's what a 4-year is all about, that practicality. I like to say, when we build something with 4 sides, it doesn't fall over, right? It's that really solid, strong energy. And you've got a year. Sometimes when you're in a 4-year, you're having to deal with details. Sometimes there's like contracts to be signed and things like that, legal documents. Sometimes you have to put your attention into the physical, solid stuff of life. Um, all right, it's making sense to you, Krista. I'm so glad. I am so glad. Yes, and I do see that you're an October baby and not a July, and that's all right. The numbers for for a lot of things I do need to know exactly, but for this is fine. I'm only working with part of your birth date at the best of times. All right. Who else is here? Who have I missed? Thank you, Rochelle, for paying attention. All right. So who? You said you were a Libra. See, if I knew anything about anything, I would have figured that out for sure, because July 10th, my sister is Cancer. I do know that. Yes. Not totally on the ball. I spun away with my own stuff. All right, where are we? It's 25 after. Tammy! Tammy is here. It does make sense, Krista. I am so glad. Okay, Tammy is the 6th of October. You're going into a 3-year. I think I already talked about that. So this year, trying to remember what I know about you. Not enough. Not enough to completely personalize it. If you're in a 3-year. If you're developing your meditation practice, that's something I think you are working on. This is the year for sure when you're going to be able to be that hollow reed, to bring wisdom and information and love from the the place where they live. They're going to come through you and into the world. 3 is your point of inspiration. It's the place where you make things real that weren't real in the physical world before. And that I think I know that you're meditating. I don't know. I think I know that. And that is a wonderful place when I absolutely believe that when we came into the human experience, we came what Gary Zukav calls the Earth School. We had intentions, we had things we were deliberately going to work through and learn through in order to expand our own experience. And we we couldn't fit all the wisdom that we have when we're in spirit, right? Yeah, you're gonna really good year to expand the dabbling, Tammy. That's what I'm saying. um, so you can't fit the amazing wisdom of our eternal souls with all of their experience and all of their expression. It doesn't fit into an 8-pound baby person. Right. Okay, Rochelle, have a wonderful weekend yourself. Thank you for being here. Um, it doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. So we arrive, we leave ourselves clues where to go and find the rest of our wisdom, and those clues show up in for people who can read astrology for in your numerology chart in many different ways. And when we meditate, when we get centered and grounded and able to be in that deep self that is ours, then we can connect to the wisdom that we had to leave behind when we came into the physical. So being in a 3-year is a time when that that channel is wide open and available. And like all things, if you don't go looking for it, it will not invade your life. It is not going to. Any angel therapist will tell you the angels are all around you. They tell me, but if you don't ask, they will not help. They don't interfere. You are the one who's in charge of what happens and what help you call on and who you invite into your energetic field, right? So, and the same is true in the 3 year. That 9 years ago, that channel was available for you. You weren't doing any meditating. You weren't going looking for it. So it just stayed there and waited for through the cycle, right? This time you can choose deliberately to work on understanding how it works, opening the flow, letting stuff come through. Always your choice. You can also just go swimming or eat a bag of popcorn, or whatever you would rather do instead of meditate. Always your choice. Always, always, always. Okay. It's 2:30. Rochelle has gone home. Who's here? Tammy. Okay. Oh, Krista and Tammy, you're only a day apart. Isn't that cool? I don't know if you know each other, but that's really neat. Okay. Nobody else here? All right. So, Lorene, I love it that you keep coming by. It's just delightful. And you're welcome. All right. Yes, Rochelle clearly was much more awake than I was. All right. Yeah, Libra girls. Very cool. I'm sure you're very balanced. Aunt Nancy? What about Aunt Nancy? If you've got her date of birth, her month and year. Okay. Oh, is she here? Let me know, Aunt Nancy. I just need your day and month. Hey, Nancy Chamberlain. Very cool. Very cool that you came. So your day and month, I don't need the year because I'm going to work out the energies for this coming year. We all pause. Do you hear my music? I have music playing and I never know if people can hear it. I should be doing the sales page, shouldn't I? Asking you, especially where there are new people, to please like and follow this page so that you'll know when I'm going to be live, and be aware that tomorrow morning, Saturday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern, I'm going to be back. Yeah. And I'm doing some things on Zoom, which you can find out about on my website. On my website, you can also sign up for my newsletter. And actually, on this page, if you're watching in Facebook, there is a pinned post where you can subscribe to my newsletter. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, which will get a little more interesting soon. Oh, there we go. 25th of the 9th. Okay, so 7, 5. Okay, another 3. Isn't that neat? We're all in multiples of 3 today. So, I don't know how long you've been here, Nancy. Yeah, it's a 3. Everything that I just told Tammy about being open to allow spirit to flow into the physical world through you. And 3, it's lovely energy. I said to somebody else too, I don't, was it you? About waking up in the morning. This isn't about hard work and finding the total and the value of the algebraic equation. This is about waking up inspired. This is about sudden out of the box thinking, feels like it fell from the sky. Waking up in the morning with it, or sitting with it in meditation, or in prayer, or in tree hugging, or when you're out, if you're a person who cycles or jogs, or does one of those things where you get into the zone where you're functioning on a level beyond the physical. The physical is looking after itself, and your mind is available to other things, and sometimes that's when the inspiration strikes, and this is a year when there's going to be lots of that. Okay, Tammy's daughters. We have the first of the fourth, going into a 1 year, beginning a new cycle. That's nice. And then we have who? The 28th of the 8th, which is a 1 and a 9, going into a 5. Isn't that cool? Those are two numbers we haven't seen yet. Okay, so the April 1st is finishing off a 9 year, so there are things that have come to a conclusion that have been completed and finished and can be set aside because they're over now. And that gives them a lot more time and energy and effort to put into new things. And a 1 year is a great time to really sit down and envision where you want to be in 5 years and 10 years and 50 years, depending on the age of them. Hey, Jen. Numbers, yes. Day and month of birth, Jen. So Tammy's April 1st person is this is a year when there are going to be lots of opportunities, and they may have been working really hard this year to get those finishings to happen. And it's really important come January and from now through, because the number, there isn't a hard brick wall between the two. They kind of flow back and forth. So we're beginning to feel 2021 energy, right? Lifting up the outlook. It's no longer about nose to the grindstone, get it done, get it finished, get it gone. Now it's about what are the possibilities for what's next? Because if we stay here, there's probably something that can be next, but that might not be the only choice. So opening it up and looking around, a 1 year is about seeing where all the other possibilities are, seeing where, because that is now finished, it has created some different pathways that we hadn't considered before, right? So that's really important to spend, and who knows how much mobility we're going to have during this year, but spending the time exploring different fields of activity. And I don't know if they're in school or they're in work or what they're doing, but if they might have always believed that they want to be a nurse, and this year might have changed that idea. And that's all right. But that doesn't mean then that they should, because of what's gone behind, they maybe need to concentrate on being a medical technician or something. Okay, lots of changes coming. Oh, and at 16, she's going to have jobs that haven't been invented yet, right? Maybe not her first job, but as her career goes on, she's going to be doing work that we've never even thought about. So opening herself up to lots of different experiences, being curious about the different things in the world, being at art galleries and also at food production plants, and also being looking at woodworking or something, like just getting all the experiences she possibly can, and then formulating her own way forward, just learning about the world. It's a really cool year for that. And when you're 16, it's a good time for that. I like that. And I hope that she's able to have mobility physically in the world. Your August person is going into a 5. They're aligned with the calendar. They're always going to be, whatever the calendar is doing, they are doing it not quite on steroids, but like intensely. So where the 5 year is going to be an expansion, an adjustment, and an adaptation, building on what has happened this year, she too is going to be expanding whatever her activities are, and again, it's about breaking the limits, right? Not because it's a 5 year, the field of endeavor broadens, and her interests will broaden. And actually, in some ways, the difference between the two, and depending on the age, there may be a need for okay, so she's younger. There may be a need for just defining some limits, because possibly she could go galloping off in all directions. And at 14, that's not always the best idea. Terry Edgar, I love it when you come visit me. I do kind of know your birthday, it being the same as mine and all. Um, we are going into a 9 year this year. We're getting stuff done. We're we're getting to the end of some of the projects that we've been in. A lot of the people who are here today are going into a 9 year. Um, we're going to be getting stuff done. We're going to be completing the projects that have been hanging on because we sometimes procrastinate. We're going to be releasing that which does not serve us. If we've got friendships that kind of drag us down, yeah, no more. Not doing that. I am not going to pay my Zoom subscription to spend time with people I don't like. Right? It's no, just no. Finding those limits, and ending the cycles that are negative to our own growth and our emotional and mental health and our experience in the world. We're not going to end 2021 still giving ourselves away, right? We're gonna do the things that promote our health and our well-being and our happiness, and connect us with the cosmic joy, because then we can spill it out onto other people, and we can be conduits of something so much better. But because of the way life is, along the way we've accumulated the moss, right? This year we're going to roll it off. That's how it's going to be. Hey, 15-minute break in Kentucky. How very cool. I know I have known your birthday, Laurie, and I don't have it just at the top of my brain. Can you give me the day and the month? It was not so long ago, was it? I don't know. And I don't have my file to look you up. Um, so who was I talking to? Terry, yeah. So a good year coming. Stuff getting accomplished, and connecting I knew that August 31st. I did know that. All right. So you're going into an 8 year. I've had an 8 year this year. You know how happy I've been. It is a lovely year of flow. The 8, because of the four planes where the numbers and we live, there's the physical, mental, emotional, and intuitive or spiritual. 7 and 9 are the two spiritual numbers. 8 is a mental number, but it comes in between them. It's sort of part of that connection, right? um I just got an emoji from Jen. Did I can't remember if I spoke to you. I know your date. You're the 23rd of April. Okay, I didn't do that yet. Okay. Um, Laurie, you are so you're in a place of flow. You're in a place of, this is a year when you're going to be finding the balance, which fits what I know about your life. Finding where you can make an effort, where you have to rest and nurture yourself, and balance those two things, right? It's about connecting, allowing the universe to flow through you, not sitting around going, oh, well, I can't do that, and I can't have that, and I don't deserve that. Never ever doing that. Being open to whatever is flowing towards you, maintaining your own sense of integrity, not to block it, but because your integrity just opens the flow more, right? You will not accept the spoils of crime. That doesn't mean that nothing will come to you. That means that the universe will bring you something that is not the spoils of crime. Um, does this make any sense? There's really good flow for you during 2021, is what I'm trying to say. And because 2022 is going to be your the end of this cycle for you, 2021 becomes the year when you start looking ahead and seeing what it is that you want to have finished during the year. Do you have as many paintings as you want to put in an exhibit? Do you have them on the storyboard, or however artists work that kind of thing? Do you have that plan? Are you flowing it so that when you complete it the following year, it's all going to come together again? It sounds really, really good. All right. You're not that's all right. All the years bleed into all the other years. So as I was saying earlier, you maybe weren't here, we're already feeling 2021 energy because there's exchange. There isn't a brick wall at midnight on the 31st of December. Okay, Jen Banks. 23-4, right? Which means you're going into a 5 year. So you're aligned with the calendar the way somebody's child was, I think. I had somebody else who's going into a 5. So it's that expansion, and that there's some scattering, and I think this is true with you. You get a bunch of different things going on. Oh, just came to say, hey, well, what can I say? We're doing what we're doing. It's good to see you. It's always good to see you. We have to figure out times, and I sent out a letter today. I've got some new Zoom times coming up, so maybe we can connect there. I do like being able to see people and have actual dialogue. Um, Jen going into a 5, scattered energy, and whoever else was in a 5, the grade 9 student is in a 5. That's another aspect with that expansion. I think I said galloping off in all directions. I guess scattered is another word for that. Um, there's so many things that are appealing, and you want to be here, and you want to be here, and you want to be here, and you want to be here. So being aware of that can help you to put your energy into finding focus and doing some prioritizing. I have an awesome workshop that you can come to where I work with Richard Bollas's chart and show you how to make priorities and get stuff sorted out, because sometimes everything feels really important, but not everything can be the first thing that you do, right? So sorting out what those priorities really are can be really beneficial. And I love Richard Bollas, and I love his prioritizing work. The great big book, I get one page of it and just work it all to pieces. So that's and whoever was here before that I said, I think it was the grade 9 student is in a 5. That that's a thing too. Grade 9, we're in high school now. There's so much more stimulation and so many more directions available at that age. There's and exactly the time that we're asking students to specialize, and that's very hard. I think this child will have a hard time if somebody says, you've got to choose 2 electives and the rest of them go away forever, because they are in an energy that wants to try everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's real that's interesting. You've got the two of them. One's in a 1 and one's in a 5. I'm gonna be Jen. I will be scheduling for sure in January. I will be doing a Richard Bollas workshop, and you and I can talk sometime. Anyway, um, the 5 year, some scattering of the energy and a need to focus if you're a grown up like Jen, a need to be aware that, if you don't take conversational Spanish this year in grade 9, that might mean you can't have it in your high school, in your school district, but it doesn't mean you can't have it when you're 20. It doesn't mean you can't do a Duolingo course on the side. Um, Sometimes we've just got to fit into the system that exists, and high school is a system. And what our heart calls us to do might be outside of that for the moment, and it might need to be delayed. It might need to be done as a hobby rather than as a subject. But there's nothing wrong with wanting to. Now, if she's so scattered that she wants to learn Cantonese and Portuguese and Spanish and Latin, then there might be a need to kind of rein her back in and be sensible about one language at a time. But for the most part, and for Jen, I know you're coming to the end of one of your scatterings. And the others aren't going to go away. You're going to add something else. I know. It's just kind of who you are, isn't it? And that's all right, because you're pretty cool. Um, I think prioritizing probably would help how you express in the world. That could be cool. We will do that. Okay, is there anybody else here? We're coming to the end of the hour very nearly. This hour has gone very quickly. Saturday at 10 o'clock Eastern in the morning, I will be here again. I'm planning to do cards tomorrow. Um, you want more, Nancy? I've forgotten. I didn't write names beside things. I don't remember what your date was, but absolutely. Tomorrow at 10, I will be doing cards, and I have many events. Ask. There's Tanya's here, and I believe you are connected with Tanya. She gets my newsletter. She knows I've got a bunch of stuff coming up this next week on Monday and Tuesday, as well as Fridays. I'm here every Friday at 2 o'clock. I said back in March I was going to do this until we were not locked in anymore. You're welcome, Jen. Um, and I'm still locked in and very happy. Tanya's going to help Nancy and guide her to stuff. Did you get a newsletter this morning, Tanya? Did I make sure that you were on the list? I don't even remember. Um, but there is stuff. I think 4 o'clock on Monday, doing a Zoom, and the link is in the newsletter. And then Tuesday at 10 in the morning and at 2 in the afternoon, I do a meditation. So there are lots of options, and I really, really like it. Good. I love it. Tanya's just like brought me her entire family tree. It's delightful. I'm loving it. It's so, so good. Um, all right, that's all right, Tanya. It's not tragic. Also, you can go to my website, and there's under events, there's a lot of stuff there. I think I might need to do some updating. And under contact us, you can get my email and Twitter and all the other ways of accessing me. And you can message me on here, obviously. I am here on Facebook, plenty. And I don't know if YouTube. I don't know if there's a way for you to send a direct message from my YouTube channel. But there's lots of other ways, so we won't worry about that right now. So I would. Nancy, you can go to my website. It's joleath, joleath.com. And on pretty much every page, there's a place where you can sign up for the newsletter. It's very easy, and I don't abuse the privilege. I've uh, I've never been comfortable with sending out things that every 3 days. It's not like that. I also don't have time. So, but it does keep you in the loop, and it does of course link you back to the website where there is always current information. There's also lots of stuff on there. I've been writing blogs. Used to be every Wednesday, and then I cut it back to 3 times a month. But for like 8 years, there is a whackload of information there. It's really quite remarkable. So, and it's very well indexed. If there's anything that a computer can do, it is sort out an index and do a search. You can go into the blogs and look up, I don't know, walrus. And if I've ever used the word walrus in a blog, it will show you that, which I think is quite magic. I really do. Um, so there's lots of stuff, and they're categorized. There's numerology and the synchronicity, and there's other stuff. There are 5 categories, I think. So you can search by category. You can, yeah. I could go on about my website. There's a bunch of stuff, and I would love to have you visit it and tool around. And if nothing else, going through a few of the blogs, it'll give you an idea of the work that I do, and it'll show you if there's stuff that you're totally not interested in. Then we will know going forward that you don't care. And it may be that you learn about something that you would never have thought of, in which case, celebration. Yes. Okay. How are we doing? I've got 3 minutes too. This is frequently the time that somebody else comes in. If not, I'm I'm high on numbers. I love doing numerology. I just very, very, very stimulated. This is why I can't do this in the evening, because I just wouldn't sleep all night. It has to be earlier in the day. Um, I have have I hit all? I have a deck of cards that I'm not going to play with now, but they are for sale on my website. And you can, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, I will be reading from this deck. Um, the Wisdom of the Garden Path. They're all lovely pictures taken in Nova Scotia. Um, they're for sale on the website. You can buy the cards. You can buy the postage. There are different depending where you are in the US or in Canada or indeed in the UK. I have sent a few there. Um, and until the end of the year, I've got a special tutorial. If you buy them, you can buy the add-on and spend some time with me, learning about the cards, learning about the spreads, learning about reading them. That's kind of cool. Get to spend quality time with people. I enjoy that enormously. Gina, it never fails. Hello, Nova Scotia. Good to see you, Gina. I'm doing numerology for the coming year. What's your day and month of birth? So I can also mail the cards to somebody else if you want to send them as a gift. And I have gift certificates. Oh, look at the sign. Gift certificates on sale here, kind of, sort of. Oh, and my blinds are broken. Um, they're on the website too, and I think under gift giving. The cards are on the tab Oracle cards, but the gift certificates are under gift giving, and they are. I do a buy 4 get 5. So if you're planning on giving them to lots of people, you can get one for yourself for free. Nice, eh? Okay, December the 5th. You've just had a birthday. That's nice. Um, You're going into a 4-year. We had somebody else going into a 4. I think we've maybe hit all the numbers in the course of today, which is cool. So 4-year, Gina. 4 is that solid, stable energy that I always say is when we build something with 4 sides, it doesn't fall over. 2020 has been a 4-year on the calendar. We have laid down a new base on which to build our future. Everything is changed by what's happened this year, right? There's a new a new a new foundation because whatever comes next, it's never going to be 2019 again. So 4 is the year when you're putting down your new base, and you're doing that during a year when the calendar has gone into expansion. So you're one of the people who's going to take the new ideas, take the new systems as they come up. However, we're doing, service provision and the different ways of being. Bye, Jen. I'll see you later. You're going to be one of the people who can look at the new way and see how it can work really well and serve yourself and the people around you sort of to the maximum. You're the one who's going to make it make sense and make it practical and practicable. You've got really, really good, reliable energy going in those terms. A 4-year is also sometimes a year when you have to deal with legal papers, signing contracts, working through the details of stuff, because it's you're setting down a basis for your own self going forward, right? Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, all of Tanya's family. Thank you, Tammy. It's been lovely to see you all. We will talk soon. Absolutely, really, really good. So Gina going into a 5. No, Gina's going into a 4. 5-year, 4 energy. There's Did I do that right? Yes. Yes. You're going into a 4. Losing my mind. So you came in right as we were shutting down, Gina. Did you It's lovely to see you though. 2 o'clock on Fridays, my time. Where are you? You're right now. It's 4 o'clock at your house, I think, unless you've moved. So next week at 3, please, or before 4. I'm here tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, my time, Eastern. I'm in Ottawa, so I'm in the Eastern Zone. I'm also doing Zooms on Monday and Tuesday. You can get the link from my newsletter. I don't know if you get my newsletter, Gina, but it would be lovely to see you. And yes, and I hope that all made sense. And if you don't get my newsletter, please sign up. There is a link on this page in Facebook, and there is a link, of course, on just about every page of my website, joleaf.com. So I would look forward to seeing you during the year, during the next little while. And you're welcome, Gina. Love it. Maybe tomorrow. I'm going to be reading cards tomorrow with my deck. I don't know. You've been here on a Friday before, so you've met my deck. Anyway, lovely to see you, everybody, and whoever is watching the video. Stay home if you can. Stay safe and careful if you have to go out. And I will be back for sure next Friday at 2, because that's absolutely unmovable. All right, thank you. Look after yourselves.